challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Miami-Dade County, Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, Michael Kotze from Choice Mortgage is with me. Michael, I got to ask you, credit card debt, consolidation, how do people get out of it, especially with these crazy rates?
Joe, the rates today for these credit card debts and bounces are 30%. So what we're doing today is we're refinancing your home and paying off that crazy amount of credit card debt and wrapping that into your mortgage, thus saving you tons of money and giving you positive cash flow.
All right, Michael, a lot of people behind in property taxes, HOA dues, assessments, judgments, liens. I could go on and on. Do you have a plan for them?
We absolutely do. We could go ahead and refinance your property, pay off all your back taxes, association dues, assessments, second mortgages, liens, judgments, PACE loans, you name it, we could pay it off.
That's Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage, always working for you 7 days a week. Call or text them again, 561-441-2730. You're getting 30 years of experience. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
What's up, football fans? Picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first touchdown scorer wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This specific promotional offer is not available in Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, or Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. In Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
No one likes having to choose. That's why with America's best lineup of hybrids from Hyundai, you get the best of both worlds. Like the reliable and efficient Tucson Hybrid with America's best warranty. Or the stylish yet capable Santa Fe Hybrid with power to navigate the toughest terrain. It's like having your cake and eating it too. You know, if you could drive a cake. Hybrids from Hyundai. It's the best of both worlds. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Traffic on WQAM is sponsored by Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV. In stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Traffic in Dade, 95 Express going northbound 62nd Street to 151st, and northbound at the Palmetto by the Dolphin to 122nd. Slowing down in Broward County, southbound 95 Express lanes right by Sunrise Boulevard, and northbound 95 at Hallandale Beach Boulevard going back to Davie Boulevard. I'm Gia, and that's traffic on FM 104.3 WQAM. And you can also listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Get ready for Ginger Billy Live at Stage 954 April 17th. The casino at Dania Beach has it all. Enjoy new, exciting promotions, the hottest slots, great shows, multiple dining options, live poker, and simulcast. Plus, new members can win up to $5,000 in free play. Join the fun at the casino at Dania Beach.
WQAM-FM and HD1 Miramar, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. WQAM-AM Miami, an Odyssey sports station. Home of the Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes football, and Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
This broadcast is presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and lock in your picks before the game begins. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in select states only.
Norby hammers high in the sky, out to left, no doubt about it. And that was a no-doubt bomb for Norby.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck. The official pregame show of the Miami Marlins on the home of the Marlins, WQAM.
Augustine Ramirez hammers a ball, left field, and gone. 3-run bomb.
Marlins on Deck is brought to you by ADT, the official security partner of the Miami Marlins, and by Werner, Hoffman, Gregg & Garcia, official law firm of the Miami Marlins.
It's all down. I'm pissed off. I'm ready to go.
Why do you get so pissed off?
I don't like hitters.
Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Stephen Strom.
Excellent job, Trevor and Brittany. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on an 81-degree Monday night. The roof and the walls are closed, though, today. You are listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, 104.3 WQAM. Today, Game 10 of 162. We touched down in Miami late Monday morning, but the boys should keep the bags right by the door. 4 games in the next 4 days here at the crib before we head out for a 6-game road trip that'll feature the Detroit Tigers and the Atlanta Braves. But yesterday, it was a massive, lion-hearted victory after waiting at Yankee Stadium for nearly 4 hours in a rain delay, folks. The original start time was supposed to be at 1:35 on an Easter Sunday. This game began at 5:10, but it resulted in a 7-6 victory as the Marlins moved to 6-3. Now a date with a team that should have bought the fish some dinner in the offseason after aiding them to a playoff appearance by taking care of the Mets at the end of the 2025 season, the Cincinnati Reds. Tonight, Janson, young 30-year-old right-hander who didn't factor on Tuesday, but started and resulted in a Marlins victory. He'll make his second turn in 2026. Marlins will see Brandon Williamson, 28-year-old southpaw. 5th time the Marlins will face a lefty this year. Williamson was lit up on Tuesday, surrendering 3 long balls against the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is game 1 of a 4-game set between your 6-3 Miami Marlins and the 6-3 Cincinnati Reds. We will get going today at 6:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Monday night. With Jack McMullen and Rod Allen, I'm Stephen Strom. We just have a fabulous show for you. We will go the distance today, and we thank you for your participation as we set the stage for Game 1 between these two teams. We'll start where both teams are at. We'll also have Clayton exclusively, of course, every first game of each series. We'll break down what to watch for against the Cincinnati Reds. We will get you to the count with Williamson and Junk. Plus, we also have a roster, and we've got to remember that as well. Jack will jump in for some key questions. Plus, we got some voicemails we want to share with the audience. We'll put that out every Monday. Get your feedback. We'll play it on the pregame show. Expo question today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. Let's start with the Reds, and I had mentioned it off the top. This is a team that went 85-79. They lost their last game to the Milwaukee Brewers in 2025, so they were glued to their seats watching the Miami Marlins take care of the Mets. And I had mentioned that Terry Francona, I wonder if he got Clayton McCullough a gift. Actually, we asked that question to Clayton today. We'll get that answer. But here are the Cincinnati Reds, 6-3. They just swept the Texas Rangers. This is a team that in the offseason went out, signed Gino Suarez, was trying to bolster this offense, but it's been all about the pitching for Cincinnati. And specifically yesterday, they were in Texas. They take the first 2 games. All of their high-leverage guys were out on Sunday afternoon, but they still figured out a way. They won 2-1. Here is Terry Francona postgame.
It really helps a ball club when you win and everybody contributes. I agree it's nice when Pagan and Santillan and Ashcraft are available, but those other guys, they stepped up, and it'll help us. It'll help us down the road.
That was Terry Francona. Hard to believe the Reds will look to win 7 of their first 10 games for the first time since 2021 and 5th time this century. For the Miami Marlins, again, it was a late night and a late weekend in general. Saturday night's game lasted 4 hours. Yesterday, game was supposed to start at 1:35. We started at 5:10, and the Marlins got down in this game late. They actually scored first. Yankees came back in this first inning, scored 3 runs, but again, late, the Marlins were trailing. They came all the way back. Graham Pauley, big pinch hit opportunity. Xavier Edwards continues to slug, but the big thing out of the bullpen was the walks. Miami's bullpen allowed 20 walks just out of the bullpen, okay? And the starters struggled with that as well. So the big question is, how do the Marlins respond this week against the Cincinnati Reds, who, again, have struggled offensively, but more specifically, can the bullpen figure out whatever the heck happened in New York? I don't know if it was a cold. I don't know if it was the lineup, but we will see here if Andrew Nardi, Tyler Phillips, everyone in that bullpen, besides Pete Fairbanks, by the way, that's our roster move. We'll reveal that in segment 3. We will see if the bullpen can respond in a big way today as Janson Jung will start for the Marlins for game 1 of this 4-game set. Coming up next, what is the key to this series? What's going on with Jacob Marcy? Is he going to pop out of this slump as well? We will hear from Clayton McCullough. He'll answer that next. 6:40 first pitch. Marlins on deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
Upgrade your family vacation with an unforgettable escape to the Palm Beaches. From outdoor adventures and laid-back beaches to thrilling family attractions and animal encounters, the Palm Beaches have something for everyone. Discover premier resorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
At Loan Depot, we're big on home. Home games, home teams, home field advantage, and you better believe it, home runs. For us, home means everything, which is why we're offering more options that make buying your first home easier and more affordable. No matter where you are on your home ownership journey, round the corner to LoanDepot.com and let us help get you home. That's LoanDepot.com. We're on deck ready to hit it out of the home ownership park for you. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475.
The Ritz-Carlton Key Biscayne, Miami invites you to discover a new era of coastal luxury following its $100 million transformation, where open-air design and sweeping ocean views create a seamless connection to the sea. Set across 17 acres of pristine beachfront, the resort blends island serenity with the dynamic rhythm of Miami. Experience the calm between the currents of city and sea and reserve at ritzcarlton.com or call 1-800-542-8680.
Introducing the all-new MLB Plus, your ticket to streaming baseball's best. Enjoy MLB Network 24/7 with live out-of-market games and award-winning shows. Enhance game nights with MLB Big Inning, live and commercial-free. And hear live home and away radio broadcasts of every game, blackout-free. Even stream minor league games all season. It's all here and it's all new. Get MLB Plus for just $59.99 a year. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus.
This is Owen Casey, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on 104.3 WQAM.
Well, it's great to come back to Miami 6-3, Clayton. Really tough, gritty victory. A long day yesterday. But you're facing a team right now in the Cincinnati Reds. They have a lot to be thankful for you guys. You guys took care of the Mets. Did you get any wine from Tito? Anyone reach out to you guys?
No. But that's all right. That's our job was to go win games, and they were the beneficiaries of how things finished last year. No.
Maybe they help us out later in the year. We'll hold Tito to that.
That's right. Maybe they can return the favor this season.
Okay. Great win yesterday. I want to start with Xavier Edwards. What does his commitment in the offseason to working on the right side show in this early success?
Yeah, I think it's good. Like, X is an incredible competitor, and I think sometimes, hearing the narrative that, you struggle more versus right, or, even me putting him down in the spot in the order versus left-handed pitching, I think, he kind of looks at it as a bit of a slight, and, that's fine. He's got a, chip on his shoulder that, he's always, like, in time, been a good performer from the right side. And so I think he has just embraced the looking to improve, and he really has. I love the flatness at which he's hitting the ball, right-handed, moving it all around the field. He doesn't seem to be like he's trying to steer it as much as he did last year. I think he's just kind of getting off some better passes, and the swing has some more length through the zone. So, yes, he worked hard on it. I think it's great. It's a great start for him. And, again, he's just a good hitter, and so it's been a good role.
Clayton McCullough with us now. I love the unintentional things that sometimes you do as a coach or manager that end up working out. I want to ask you what went wrong with the bullpen and the walks, but how do you, as a leader of men, insert confidence in a group in the bullpen after a tough series?
I think what you saw, you throw them right back out there. I mean, you saw, yesterday, talked to, Nard and kind of how we had things set up, like be ready to go early, like you're going to get right back out there, and then, Anthony's closing the game yesterday. So I think one is that, you show and instill the amount of confidence in them that you're going to get right. You got to be ready to get back out there. I'm going to put you right back in those spots because, we believe in the ability, right? You believe in the talent. And so one bad outing, a couple bad outings doesn't sway, I think, what that individual is capable of, and certainly what that group is capable of. So I think one is just, them knowing you're going to get right back out there, get back on the horse and go. And then the other part is just it's a tough game, right? I think that the good thing for me, Stephen, with this is I think different than last year. I think our entire group recognizes right away that that's just not, look, we were probably fortunate to be in those games and to win a game when you walk as many people as we did. So I think they know that, and easier said than done, but it just was a really tough 3 days from a strike throwing perspective, but felt like it was. I feel like that's more of an anomaly than that's something that that group is unable to do.
Bullpen looking to bounce back. It's 9 games, Marlins Nation, but everyone is freaking out about Jacob Marcy. Give us reason why we shouldn't be worried about Jacob Marcy's start to the year.
It's 9 games, and because Jacob's good, and I don't think you can't even say, well, if you go back to September, whatever, and now you add it's two separate things, right? And I think right now, Jacob is still working good at bats. He's hit some ball. He lined out a couple times there. So, they're going to start to fall for him. And the big thing with Jacob is just knowing that that's going to happen, believing that's going to happen. Don't press too much. What makes you so successful as a hitter is, how good you are at controlling the strike zone, moving the ball around. Just take what they give you right now. And if it's if it's a couple walks and 0 for 2 with 2 walks, you'll just, the performance will turn. And, you're 7 for 10 from looking up there and everybody's going, oh, well, he's back to who he was. So it's just so early in the season, and it's more, Jacob, just continue to do what you're good at, and the results will follow, and he'll be just fine.
Thanks for the time, as always, Clay. All right, the Marlins and the Reds, first of 4 tonight. We'll get you at the count next, 6:40 first pitch on the Marlins Radio Network.
Upgrade your family vacation with an unforgettable escape to the Palm Beaches. From outdoor adventures and laid-back beaches to thrilling family attractions and animal encounters, the Palm Beaches have something for everyone. Discover premier resorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
The Ritz-Carlton Key Biscayne, Miami invites you to discover a new era of coastal luxury following its $100 million transformation, where open-air design and sweeping ocean views create a seamless connection to the sea. Set across 17 acres of pristine beachfront, the resort blends island serenity with the dynamic rhythm of Miami. Experience the calm between the currents of city and sea, and reserve at ritzcarlton.com or call 1-800-542-8680.
Miccosukee Casino and Resort is your place in Miami to live it up and play on. Unleash the excitement of slots, high-stakes bingo, and 24/7 poker action. Indulge in exquisite dining at La Brisa and handcrafted cocktails at Tempt Lounge. Unwind in our elegant rooms and suites as you elevate your entertainment around the clock. And check out our new Little Trail Casino on I-75, exit 49. Rediscover Miccosukee Casino and Resort, voted best casino in Miami. Visit Miccosukee.com for more.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses, and enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is Anthony Bender, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
All right, well, here we go. We are live from Lone Depot Park. It is the Cincinnati Reds and the Miami Marlins. Both teams sit at 6-3. Interesting note here on the Reds. All 6 wins, they've won by less than 2 runs. This is a team that has struggled offensively, 26 total runs. But one guy to watch out for, and we'll discuss in segment 4, Sal Stewart, 22-year-old. This is a homecoming for him. He's got a couple of home runs, 3 doubles, and 4 RBI, so he's someone to highlight for Janson Junk. Let's get you ahead of the count here. Again, Steven Strom. Hello, everyone. Rod Allen's first game in the Marlins Radio Network booth here in 2026. Of course, Jack McMullen has your play-by-play. We will get you ahead of the count. And let's start here with Brandon Williamson, 28-year-old left-hander. He missed the entire year last year with Tommy John surgery, so this is going to be his second start of the season. He was a pick of the Seattle Mariners back in 2019. He was traded to Cincinnati in March of 2022. He debuted in 23, made 23 starts, 117 innings, a 4.46 ERA. But after that, it has just been a struggle for Williamson to stay healthy. Injuries in 2024 held him to just 4 appearances. He was roughed up in his first one on Tuesday of this year against the Pirates in his first start in 560 days. 6 runs on 6 hits over 4 2/3. He gave up 3 home runs. Here was Williamson postgame.
Learned a lot from tonight, honestly. I got to come out of the gates a little more ready to go. Felt like it took me a few times getting hit where I was like, I really need to lock in and focus on exactly what I'm trying to do. And I felt like after the second inning, I remembered a few things previous years that I was like, okay, I remember can't do that. I need to do this. And then it just comes down to execution.
That's a pretty good post. That was like, wow, here I am. I mean, this is baseball. Brandon Williamson, career-wise against Miami, has made 1 start in 2023, 6 2/3 of 1-run baseball, 9 Ks, 4-seamer, cutter, sweeper, sinker, changeup, and a curveball. Here's the bottom line, folks. I mean, when you come back from all these injuries, I think the big concern, obviously, is being durable. But the one thing that usually is tough to try to get back is command. We saw that with Sandy last year. Keep an eye out on that for Brandon Williamson today as far as the walks and just the general placement of the fastball is concerned. Janson Junk, 30-year-old right-hander. He'll make his second turn in the rotation. He didn't factor on Tuesday against the White Sox. He allowed 2 runs on 4 1/3, K'd 5. 50 of his 79 pitches were for strikes. That 4-seamer was sitting at 94, 96 miles per hour, which is an uptick from last year. Here was Junk postgame.
Very pleased with how I fell and what the stuff showed. We're able to bounce back. I think talking to Paddock after his start, really appreciate that from him, just about his mentality and what went on in that 1 inning. And I kind of had that moment, 2 guys get on, base hit, and you can kind of feel it going the other direction. I kind of reflected back on what he told me and keep pitching with conviction. And then Foch, Bender, Pete, all those guys putting up zeros is, how we want to do it.
Well, again, this is a really good matchup, I think, for Janson Junk. Not a lot of lefties in this lineup. Again, 26 total runs so far through 9 games for the Cincinnati Reds. Last time Junk faced the Reds, 6 frames of shutout baseball, 88 pitches. He was superb. Brandon Williamson, Janson Junk, both teams looking to win their 7th game of the season. It's the first of 4. We will break. We got some voicemails that we got to get to, some questions, some mailbag questions on Marlins on Deck. We'll also get Jack McMullen on. We'll talk a little bit about this guy, Sal Stewart. Of course, a homecoming for him being from Miami. And what the heck is going on with Xavier Edwards? This guy is red hot. Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network. At Loan Depot, we're big on home. Home games, home teams, home field advantage, and you better believe it, home runs. For us, home means everything, which is why we're offering more options that make buying your first home easier and more affordable. No matter where you are on your home ownership journey, round the corner to loandepot.com and let us help get you home. That's loandepot.com. We're on deck ready to hit it out of the home ownership park for you. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475.
Upgrade your family vacation with an unforgettable escape to the Palm Beaches. From outdoor adventures and laid-back beaches to thrilling family attractions and animal encounters, the Palm Beaches have something for everyone. Discover premier resorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
Get to Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac for our 80th anniversary sale. 2026 optics, $329 a month at Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. Approved credit cards and transportation vehicles, sports.ts, 115239, less than 5K miles, 24 month lease, $39.99 down, 0 security plus tax tag title fees.
Get anniversary savings at Edmore Sawgrass Chevrolet during Chevy Truck Month. 26 Silverados, supplier pricing, and no payments for 90 days. Chevy, together let's drive.
Approved credit, interest accrues from date of purchase through preferred lender. Select models plus tax tag title fees, dealer has details.
John Crook here. And baseball stats can tell you a lot. When your car breaks, you want a company that has all the right stats on your team. CarShield's been in business for over 20 years. That's staying power. They're America's most trusted auto protection. That's reputation. They've sold over 3 million contracts. That's a whole lot of happy drivers. Let CarShield help with costly repairs when an unexpected breakdown happens.
Don't get caught looking. Get a free quote today at carshield.com. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
A 1 to X. That one slashed down the right field line. That falls in for a base hit. That'll be extra bases. Norby off to the races. Judge picks it up in the corner. They're sending Norby home. Relay throw coming to the plate is not in time. And Xavier Edwards stays absolutely scorching hot.
That's our DH, baby. Xavier Edwards going to DH for the Marlins tonight. And how could you not? 6 multi-hit game of the season yesterday. We also got some win that Juan Pierre, by the way, owns the franchise most hits through the first 10 games of the season with 18. That happened in 2003. That's some pretty impressive company for Xavier Edwards. Steven Straub, Jack McMullen, and Rod Allen, 6:40 first pitch. Today, game 1 of 4. We are ready. This is also a grab and go. I do the 3 games grab and go, but a very quick homestand, if we can even consider that. Janson, Junk, Brendan Williamson. But Jack, let's start here with Xavier Edwards. We've spent so much time talking about Liam Hicks. We've spent so much time talking about Owen Casey. But what we have seen from Xavier Edwards is, to his, fault, we expect this from Xavier Edwards, but he's just playing at an all-time level right now.
It's never going to be the headline with Xavier Edwards, and that's just the way his game is built and his game is molded. Xavier Edwards is one of those guys that accumulates to the point that he becomes undeniable. So over the first 3 games, we're talking about Casey, because Casey is hitting the ball out of the ballpark and he's hitting the ball incredibly hard.
And the guys haven't done it before, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You're making a little bit bigger of a deal.
And then Liam Hicks, we're talking about this 6 and 7 game burst where he's got 12 runs driven in his first 6 games. And we're talking about the person saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But with Xavier Edwards, it's like, oh, another 2-hit day. Another 2-hit day. Oh, another 2-hit day. He is a guy best enjoyed over 162. And we were really lucky to get it last year. We were really lucky to get it for, about 100 games or 80 to 100 games in 2024. And hopefully we get it for 162 in 2026, because this guy is an old school hit collector. He doesn't walk much. He doesn't strike out much. He hasn't done either of those right now, which is amazing because he's putting the ball in play and he's making things happen. And this guy is hitting, 471 right now? It's unbelievable. It's also unbelievable to think he needs a 6-hit day to match Juan Pierre. What a start from JP.
What is that? I just started calculating. I'm like, oh, wow, we're going to need some extra innings here tonight.
Seriously.
If X needs to try to chase Juan Pierre. The big thing for X, look, last year, he hit 230 from the right side. Really struggled against left-handed hitters. It was a big focus in the offseason for him, and you're already seeing him, the dividends pay off here. 5 for 11 from the right side for Xavier Edwards. Again, he will DH. We will go to our voicemail here. We like to drop this on Mondays, and it's really fun when you're playing good baseball. Marlins 6-3. We've got Aiden on the voicemail. What you got, Aiden?
Hello, I'm Aiden, and I'm a big Marlins fan, and I wanted to ask the Marlins podcast do you believe this Marlins team could get better through the year as we are facing the Reds tonight? I know I believe in this team, but I want to see your guys' takes. Thank you.
Great call from Aiden right there. And yes, the Marlins, I believe, are going to continue to get better throughout the season. Jack, last year, this was a tough month for the Marlins. They were 9-16 in the month of April, and you just saw them continue to fight. They were 16 games under, got back to the 500 mark. I don't think there's any question that we're going to see this team continue to get better. I've seen the team get better in a week here.
Yeah, it seems like it. Aiden, thank you so much for the call, man. That was outstanding. And yeah, I'm totally with you. You know, like this was a slow starting year last year, a slow starting team last year, but at the end of the day, the 2025 version of the Marlins and the 26 version of the Marlins can be very different. And I think a lot of this is, schedule dependent, kind of how you start a season, right? You look at the Pirates, and Paul Skeens was the opening day starter opposite you. Kyle Freeland was the opening day starter opposite you this go around. But you beat who's in front of you, and the Marlins have done such a good job offensively of finding their footing right away. And we just mentioned Casey. We just mentioned Liam Hicks. We just mentioned Xavier Edwards. Obviously, Otto Lopez is off to a heck of a start. It's always a good sign when you have some bats get going early, because traditionally pitching is always the thing that's out in front.
Yeah.
But no, man, I think the bats getting going early and the pitching, filling up the strike zone when they were in Miami. I know it was kind of tough over the weekend in New York, but filling up the strike zone for the first week of the season, also very, very encouraging.
That's Jack McMullen. I'm Steven Strom. We're on WQAM today. Marlins on deck, game one of a 4-game set. The conversation this weekend, Jack, has really been around, okay, the Marlins played two inferior opponents in a lot of ways in the White Sox and the Rockies, and now they go to New York, and now they play the Bronx Bombers, and they're able to get one on Sunday. And the big question has been, what do you think they learned? What do you think the Marlins learned over the weekend that maybe they can't get away with moving forward?
Yeah, honestly, like controlling, what you can in terms of pitching. I really do believe that the strike zone is the most important aspect of a baseball game, and that's a hitter laying off things that are outside the strike zone and pounding things that are inside the strike zone, but also just pitching. You have to be around the strike zone. The two games that they lost, Marlins pitching combined to walk 21 guys in 2 games. And then they get a little bit better command-wise in Game 3 of that series in New York, and it was just outstanding with the way the Marlins were able to bounce back in yesterday's game and win it in comeback fashion. So this offense is there. Pitching has to keep you in the game, and you do that by filling up the strike zone. So I think we just learned about the importance of the strike zone, as simple as that sounds.
Very good, Jack McMullen. He's got your call with Rod Allen in about 13 minutes. We'll break Steve's guarantee, and our X-Poll question is right around the corner. Marlins on deck. We'll return in 2 minutes on the Marlins Radio Network.
I'm Adam Werner. As the official law firm of the Miami Marlins, Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia fights for our clients the same way the Marlins fight on the field, relentlessly and with a winning strategy. Our team represents clients in personal injury, workers' compensation, veterans' disability, bankruptcy, and Social Security cases. From our home office in Miami, Florida, we provide powerhouse legal representation built on dedication, experience, and results. If you need a team that's ready to step up to the plate for you, visit WernerHoffman.com. Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia, proudly serving the 305 community.
The Ritz-Carlton Key Biscayne, Miami invites you to discover a new era of coastal luxury following its $100 million transformation, where open-air design and sweeping ocean views create a seamless connection to the sea. Set across 17 acres of pristine beachfront, the resort blends island serenity with the dynamic rhythm of Miami. Experience the calm between the currents of city and sea and reserve at ritzcarlton.com or call 1-800-542-8680.
Miccosukee Casino and Resort is your place in Miami to live it up and play on. Unleash the excitement of slots, high-stakes bingo, and 24/7 poker action. Indulge in exquisite dining at La Brisa and handcrafted cocktails at Tempt Lounge. Unwind in our elegant rooms and suites as you elevate your entertainment around the clock. And check out our new Little Trail Casino on I-75, exit 49. Rediscover Miccosukee Casino and Resort, voted best casino in Miami. Visit Miccosukee.com for more.
Experience a celebration of the historic connection between baseball and the military this Memorial Day weekend in Cooperstown, New York. The Hall of Fame Military Classic, a tribute to service and sacrifice, will be held May 23rd at Doubleday Field. The 7-inning Legends game will feature Hall of Famer coaches and managers and recently retired MLB stars. The Hall of Fame Military Classic is part of a weekend celebration of America's 250th birthday. Get your Military Classic tickets today at baseballhall.org.
This is Jacob Marcy, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on 104.3 WQAM.
All right, couple of things off the top. First of all, and this is why, you send the link, you send the StreamYard link to your father and say, hey, if you want to listen, you can listen. He gets right back to me. He goes, dude, your collar is messed up. And I appreciate that, Dad. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Marlins on Deck here, game 1 of a 4-game set. It is Brandon Williamson. It is Janson Junk. Both teams are feeling very connected, I think, on this Monday night. Here's why. On Sunday, the Cincinnati Reds had all of their high leverage guys burnt out. They were not going to pitch. Terry Francona had to turn to a couple of guys that were probably not going to pitch the 7th, 8th, and 9th. They end up going to them, and they end up succeeding, and the Reds sweep the Texas Rangers, a win that can maybe carry over into the next night. Marlins, same thing. They sat at Yankee Stadium all day, supposed to play at 1:30. They play at 5:10. They come back late in the game. Big pinch hit collected by Graham Pauley. It was, I think, a win that galvanizes a group. So both teams have to be feeling in a good spot here on this Monday night. Let's get to our X-Poll question today. We name-dropped our X-Poll question guy that I was about to say, but I held back, folks. Blank owns the franchise's most hits through the first 10 games to start a season. They said it in 2003. 18 base knocks from March 31st to April 10th. Who is that? We revealed it, actually, if you were listening. Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. All right, Trev, let's do it. It's time for Steve's Guarantees.
Almost time to play ball. First pitch coming up in moments. Steve's Guarantees coming up now.
When water, fire, or mold strike, trust the Marlins' number one choice, ServPro. From cleanup to construction, they work to make it like it never even happened. Okay, I feel like I've gone back to the well a couple of times. There's been some Steve's Guarantee repeats, but I got to be honest, I feel really good about where I'm at. I mean, usually, sometimes it takes a couple of games to settle in. I feel like I'm in a good spot with Steve's Guarantees. Let me start here with Brandon Williamson. Gave up 3 home runs against the Pirates. More specifically, 2 from the left side. I like Jacob Marcy with an extra base hit, and then I like from the right side Connor Norby with an extra base hit and an RBI. Those are 2 of my individual guarantees. My team guarantee today, 3 walks. You have to make this guy throw strikes. He doesn't have great command right now. He has battled. He made his first start last week in 560 days. We have seen guys come back from Tommy John surgery. The command, the feel, usually it's not there. Let Brandon Williamson come in the zone and try to attack from there. But I expect the Marlins to give a little bit of a taste of what they got in New York as far as plate discipline is concerned. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Rod Allen, he is ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins on Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It is next on the Marlins Radio Network.